really like that the other people from other nations are actually watching us. So big shout out to you guys watching this international stream. But we do have our game. White Rascals now on the blue side. Pro Gaming. DD Pro Gaming on the red side.
That's right. Of course, White Rascals going strong on the Lancelot ban. I'm expecting a Gushan ban because, you know, Few, he showed up in that game.
I agree.
He showed up with that Gushan double kill under 2 towers. That was...
You're gonna have nightmares after that. So it's just better off banning it.
That's right. But instead, the ban goes over to DD Pro Gaming. They will force the last ban off White Rascals. Expecting something like Akai, Jawhead, or maybe Fanny.
Yeah,
not
maybe
sure.
Fanny.
Ooh, they go for Cho though.
I thought that White Rascals have a better would have a better draft if they do have the Cho on their side. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Well,
they banned it themselves.
They banned it themselves.
So not much confidence here for White Rascals. I mean, Cho is a great. We've seen it like last match, right? Man, Ader was playing against the Cho very well. I mean, the Cho was just surviving Yan on that Cho, just a beauty to watch. I think that would have worked this game as well.
Pretty sure about it. But I think that because they are eyeing the Fanny pick right now, they will still ban on the Cho because there's just way too much control that can come out of the Cho, especially when Fanny is, you know, caught out of position. May it be because he is split pushing, or maybe because he wants to get into the fray. For example, Fanny goes, if there's a fight that blew out, it is gonna be contained in a big circle, big center, and the Fanny will try to go in, right? And if the Cho is, you know, very mentally active about it, for sure he will time out when the Fanny goes in, and there will be enough for him to knock down. I think I saw that many times in the previous match, so I think that's why they, in the previous matches that we saw, and I think that's why they banned out the Cho when they are eyeing the Fanny pick.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the lockdown potential is going to be taken away if you ban it.
Yeah.
So, but the DD Pro Gaming does get something back by taking out one of the key picks, in my opinion, for White Rascals, which is the Akai. It's actually really big, especially if you if you partner it with a Fanny. It's just huge potential for insta-kills, and that was taken away from them. Great drafting here by DD Pro Gaming. They also lock in the Lolita for that steady engagements. The tanks are already in the basket here for DD Pro Gaming.
White Rascals, they will prioritize getting the Giant, which I like as well. I think that it does have a good combination with the Fanny. If you are able to, you know, isolate one hero with your ejector, the Fanny and the Kagura can surely focus far and, you know, tunnel onto the specific hero. And that is one good isolation technique for them.
Expect tons of damage when that happens as well. And on the other side, though, wow, Zilong making an appearance today. Not the most orthodox picks. I mean, it's great for making pickoffs, like one hero pickoffs. But otherwise, I'm not sure. Survivability is definitely going to be not a problem for DD Pro Gaming, but I'm wondering where the damage is going to come from.
I have the Cyclops so far. I don't think the Zilong is kind of dependable in the latter stage of the game.
Exactly.
As much as a Fanny is, or I mean, DD Pro Gaming, they picked the Zilong over something like a Martis. They can't pick it next though. So it is available on the table.
Actually, I think this is Moscow.
Yeah, it is Moscow. Yeah, it's not Martis, but
I think it looks like a Martis brother, in my opinion. I think it's gonna be Martis. Yeah, but they're just making fun of us. I'm sure they are. Argus is locked down on the other side, so if we're talking late game, that's one of the biggest factors as well.
Yeah, that's still what I was wondering about. It's fine to have like Hardy and Cyclops in one match for, you know, for mid game security, but they swapped in the Zilong for the Martis, which I think that is quite questionable, at least for me. They have a ton of magic damage coming from their side, which and just a little bit of physical damage out there. So it feels like White Rascals, they now are presented with possible win conditions.
Exactly. I mean, White Rascals, they do have that small window where the Fanny is not going to be super relevant. And they will have the ability to make pickoffs in the early game using the Zilong. But again, they will have to capitalize on that. They will need to up the tempo if they're trying to plan this out with the Zilong.
You know,
that's a big problem.
The only problem I do have with Pro Gaming and other teams that draft like this, they're kind of all inning to one source of damage, like magic damage, for example.
Exactly.
And it's easy to itemize with that, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, it's easy to counter.
it's easy, very easy to counter.
Just use the shield medallions. Just use all magic resistance.
Magic resistance, correct.
And where's the damage gonna come from? Is it gonna come from the Zilong? That's gonna be the question to answer as we go into game 2. White Rascals versus DD Pro Gaming.
Well, I think that our question will be answered in the next 15 minutes or so. But, the thing with all of these all-in types of strategy is that it is pretty good in some stages of the game. Like, for example, the mid-game, where both of these magic dealers, the Harley as well as the Cyclops, really thrive. I mean, White Rascals might not have enough magic resistance just yet at that moment. And for sure, they can melt from the magic damage output that can come out from both of these mages. But afterwards, after that specific stage, at the latter stages of the game, White Rascals, they do have the lead. They have Argus and they have Fanny. These are very strong and very fast scaling type of cores.
Exactly. It's very easy to get into the fights as well. Speaking of which, White Rascals making the initial fight. Again, Inuzaki is not that geared yet on that Argus. Argus will need a lot of time before he can ramp up as well, like we were talking about earlier with the Lapu Lapu, with the Alpha. Same story. Yeah, he needs a lot of time to ramp up, and he is actually the perfect hero to solo up because again, he can be invulnerable because of his ultimate, and that's something that White Rascals has going for them. But otherwise, DD Pro Gaming gonna have to rely a lot on magic damage and one-time burst skills to make a win.
Actually, here comes Yaku. Zilong is just manning up against Inuzaki, but Inuzaki already out of there. He gets out. He is quite alone away from his team. And he will be, fished out by the panda that is a Kai, but will not be found though.
Gets hunted here by D. He reads Inuzaki like a book. Proxies in, but on the other side of the team, the other team, DD Pro Gaming, get first blood on top.
Yeah, that is a kill onto the Fanny, but in comes the collapse from DD Pro Gaming. That wall from the Grok is not quite advisable, but that is a jumping from Yaku. Just know that, well, there's not much safe zones for him. D with the ultimate, pushing back the members of White Rascals. And this is the taking one for the team to save Yaku, but there could be a counter. Nizaki very low. Few is going to be punished, though, as that Cyclops is, one of the squishiest heroes out there.
Exactly.
You don't want to be in the middle of a fight.
And this is what we're talking about as well. Composition-wise, where was the damage going to come from? Was it going to come from that Zilong? Absolutely not. That's a problem that Pro Gaming had on the draft. The bottom lane damage is just definitely out of proportion. Like, where is the matchup gonna be? I think White Rascals had a great answer. They just are answered with the Argus. They sent multiple people to lock those melee champions, heroes down, and they won it like a pro.
Yeah, won it like a pro. Let's see if White Rascals can still continue with this, momentum that they do have. Unfortunately for them, though, is that the lead is not on their side. Actually, it's not on anyone's side. Well, Galido might be punished. Nice ultimate from D as he times out when the Fanny is going to come from. That was one of the best baits out there we saw.
I know. Man, baited into a hurricane dance and deadly magic there by the Harley. Easily takes down one target, especially at this early stage of the game. They get a tower as well for their efforts. Great play there from Luffy and D.
Yeah,
That
was one that merits an Oscar for
Exactly.
best acting. While Yaku will actually be under the duress of these two members of White Rascals, but man, I would have said that Argus is low in health. But again, he wants to be on those kinds of positions where he's very low in health, and he turns it around with spell vamps and some of the lifesteal that he does have. While D,
that's right.
Go on to Shinkalafu.
Oh, Shinkalafu being boxed in by 3 people, but does manage to survive despite the deadly magic going down. Again, we have to talk about this Argus. How fast is he ramping up? He's at 2.6k, basically same goal as the 2-0 Harley. It's something to be scared about later into the game, but you have to also wonder how well can DD Pro Gaming capitalize on their power spikes on Luffy on this Harley.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, they still have plenty amount of time, I guess. Maybe up until the 15-minute mark or even the 12-minute mark. Probably stronger than White Rascals per se.
Yeah.
But afterwards, it's gonna get harder and harder by the minute as far as damage goes.
Yeah, that's right. The relevance of Lufzi on this Harley is gonna go down tremendously if we pass 15 minutes and they're still not in a comfortable lead.
Yeah, I agree.
So right now, White Rascals gonna zone it out, gonna try to pull the pressure up even further, as the rest of Pro Gaming also tries to answer with a turtle bait. And we have these trying to start off Nomen Force by Tets.
That is not going to be a connection, but the turtle will be slain by Fanny D with the ultimate. Not going to find anyone though. Shikalafu gets out. Yasu will be the counter kill for DD Pro Gaming, but the turtle still going to favor White Rascals.
Yeah, not the best engaged there by DD Pro Gaming, but they still get something for their efforts as they equalize the gold by that kill as well, and as well as the tower in the mid lane. So good answer here for both teams. Again, this is starting to look like earlier, man, where the chess moves are left and right on either sides of the map.
Of course, both. I mean, there's not a definitive lead by anyone right now.
That's right.
With just 700 gold. That's not a lot, to be fair. Well,
at this point though, even though they're even, you actually have to give it to the team that has more scaling heroes, I think.
I agree.
Right.
That's the thing with non-scaling versus scaling type of compositions. Scaling type of compositions don't want to be even. I mean, non-scaling type of compositions don't want to be even with their opponents. They want to be on the lead by a tremendous lead, because it's gonna be easier for the scaling team to ramp up, and then overtake them as far as damage goes in the latter stage of the game.
Yeah, so especially in this case, DD Pro Gaming with power spike timings on their side, they go for the Hurricane Dance. Shinkalafu so tanky, tanking everything while his team arrives. Wow!
What a bait once more, but now they will lock onto D. D in trouble. Will be taken out by the Joy. Here comes the Grok. Very tanky. He's actually taking deadly magic coming out from the Harley, but he's quite safe. Again, very tacky on this core.
Yeah, while all that was happening, of course, Inuzaki in the mid lane takes the tower very easily. Deadly Grip gets him out of the way.
And even the ejector coming up from the Joy just to make sure that he had enough distance away from his opponents.
Yeah, the ejector assist.
Yeah.
I love it. I love those plays.
Yep.
So right now, this is going to be a big, again, scaling is on the side of White Rascals right now with the Fanny, with the Argus. So if you're even, that's actually a bad answer for DD Pro Gaming. If you're even, you are losing. That's what the DD Pro Gaming side composition is screaming in my head right now.
I agree. I couldn't agree more, man. So it's gonna be up to DD Pro Gaming to still try to finish this game as early as possible. But White Rascals aren't allowing them. Yaku in trouble. The Zilong, supposed to be your damage dealer in the latter stages of the game, is not gonna find it. Oh, okay. Lolita will have to cancel his ultimate right there, as Inuzaki will be found, but nice Death Grip right there to get out of harm's way. Still taking so much damage though.
Man, White Rascals are baiting left and right. I love what they're doing with their tanks, and as well as Inuzaki. He's using all the skills he can, using the immortality as well to bait Pro Gaming into taking fights that aren't necessarily becoming beneficial to them.
Yeah.
So smart play here for White Rascals, trying to bait Pro Gaming into bad situation, and right now this is looking like one of those.
It is looking like one of those. Exactly, taking so much damage again. You don't want to overcommit on Argus, because he can really easily take turn the fight around. Fortunately for the Cyclops, he just put down the Argus very low, and then he immediately got away from the danger zone, because it could be an easy turnaround for the Argus. But Yasu gonna have to be taking a lot of damage from this Harley. And you can just feel the damage output that DD Pro Game does have. They will take out the Grok, even through the tankiness of that specific hero. And you can see the promise that DD Pro Gaming does have as far as damage goes in the mid game that we're seeing right now.
That's right, DD Pro Gaming living up to their win condition in that last fight, where they used all the burst that they could on one target, localize it. Even the Numenon Force of this what do you call this Lolita,
Lolita.
was just used on one hero just to secure a kill, and I think that's a lot. That's a lot,
Yeah.
considering what you get, which is again map control during this Lord area secure.
Yeah. And well, speaking of the Lord area, I think that this is one of the better objectives right there for DD Pro Gaming to take. Maybe they can get one pick off and then just try to transition into the Lord afterwards, because again they will have the advantage. But I think that White Rascals can identify this. Yasu though taking so much damage, hardly as well as the Cyclops, just way too much. But there could be a counter, few very low. Shikalafu low as well. The Cyclops already down, and Shikalafu in trouble. Locked down from the Akai, the ultimate from the Lolita. It will not land because they're taking so much flak from the members of the White Rascals squad. Fanny takes them out. Gerido still fairly healthy. He's trying to jump in. Fortunately for D, he does have the his turret, and he gets out. Zilong, though, gets a turret up top.
Yeah, somehow White Rascals still kind of evened that out with Yaku on the top lane doing the split push on that Zilong. Somehow they're using the Zilong quite effectively at that point, where they could get a tower fast using the Zilong ultimate. The burst of speed and damage from that ultimate definitely worked out in the end for DD Pro Gaming, and even though they did lose something in the mid lane, still got something for their efforts. That's very important if you're DD Pro Gaming.
I agree. This is them keeping tabs on win conditions as well of the White Rascals. Make sure that whenever they do get victories, like small victories, they get something in return, like you mentioned. And it is a step in the right direction for DD Pro Gaming.
So right now, on the bottom lane, it will be a bit of a slower push, as both teams, they try to answer the Lord area. They're trying to scout out someone who might be missing, who might be straying far from their team, and I think DD Pro Gaming might catch someone if Inuzaki goes for the Lord. Will he do this though? This is going to be a 3v4 if they try to collapse it. White Rascals has an easier path into the Lord area.
Oh, now they spot out where the Lolita is, but then comes damage from DD Pro Gaming, but the Grok already out of there. Forcing out the ultimate, there is the Grok wall. Tets will be safe for now. He's being still chased out, but I think this is just a power play coming out from White Rascals. They just want to zone out DD Pro Gaming.
That's right, and at this point, it's going to be a bit more difficult for White Rascals to take the Lord because, again, all these people on the bottom lane, they're more tankier than damagey. So they're going to damage you. Wow. So they're going to have to just slowly bait DD Pro Gaming into an unfavorable situation. That's their win condition, but DD Pro Gaming is not biting any of the baits.
The thing with White Rascals, to be honest, is that they aren't required per se to get kills on DD Pro Gaming. They are required, though, to get the farm.
Exactly.
And I think that they are getting the farm so far, and they're pretty content in stalling this game longer, I would say.
But right now, though, White Rascals do not want that to happen as they take down Chinkalafu with 4 members. Opens up the Lord to pretty much any plan that they have.
I mean, DD Pro Gaming found gold right there. That is a Jawhead. A lot of the initiation from White Rascals comes out of the Jawhead. So this is a big playmaker down for 20 more seconds. DD Pro Gaming, though, they aren't comfortable just yet, to take out the Lord, because they might not have enough time to, take them down.
Ooh.
But with the skill on the Grok, it's potentially going to get it, and there is the kill. A little bit of sloppiness from White Rascals as far as positioning goes. This really opens up the Lord takedown, if ever.
Yeah, and this is DD Pro Gaming living up to their strengths as they take down targets one by one. Targets who are out of position, who have the deadly magic on them, can easily get killed, especially with multiple members from DD Pro Gaming.
See if they will still fight this one out, as the jumping from D will be there. Kaizoku is already out. That's a Kagura safe from harm, while the Fanny is split pushing up top. Oh no, the Argus actually very low, will be jumped down by D. There is the ultimate from the Akai, actually stunning up 3, but no follow-up just yet from DD Pro Gaming. Shikalafu will be there. There's the ejector, but he's already being damaged heavily by the side of DD Pro Gaming. While that's happening, the turret already taken out mid lane.
Man, Gelido taking his time on the top lane with the split push. He wasn't really helping in the fights. All the tanks were at the bottom trying to defend, but that tower took a while for him to get to, and that results in the DD Pro Gaming getting 2 towers for their own.
That is not the best play. Well, Glido. Oh no, he's stunned up and there's the follow-up stun. They chain him. So the layering of the stuns will be enough though. It wasn't. Well, it will. As the deadly magic will be there. A slight misstep, resulting into a terrible disaster for White Rascals. And DD Pro Gaming, they will not stop. They know that the fan is down for the count. They will go on to this Yasu Grok, while Inuzaki was working on the Lord all this time.
Wow.
One of the few heroes that can solo kill the Lord, I would say.
Exactly, and right now they are still. We're gonna have to question: is that gonna be enough? As White Rascals, they
nice
try to go.
Ejector.
Wow!
What a play from the joint. Inuzaki still survives. It does have the strength. He does have the lifesteal, but it is gonna be taken out by the members of DD Pro Gaming.
Yeah, that was barely enough for him to sustain. I mean, he was in the right. He had the right power to take him out, but he was in the wrong place, as that was 4 members from DD Pro Gaming. This Lord that he just took is just gonna be denied instead by Pro Gaming, and you know, this is both teams trying to answer either one's team's plays, but not gonna work out in the end.
You know, I agree that this is an answer from White Rascals. They immediately called out the Lord after the death onto the Argus, knowing that there is a potential for DD Pro Gaming to actually push up to their base. But when the Lord is there, he can't ever take for granted the pressure that he applies on lanes. Because if you leave that Lord for 1 or 2 minion waves, that is surely gonna usher the minion wave onto the turrets.
Yeah.
That will result to turret takedown. So DD Pro Gaming, they didn't want to risk it all. And that is also a good thing from White Rascals, because again, they lost the Argus, they are a man disadvantage, and they evened it out. They kind of survived for the night.
Yeah, comparatively, the White Rascals playing a bit more sloppily, I think.
I agree.
I think they should have a huge lead already at this point if they didn't make those big mistakes. Made. Oh my god.
What an ultimate by Lolita. Shingalafu now in trouble. He is very tanky. The Fanny not so much connecting on his shots right now. Or is it just the members of DD Pro Gaming are just way too tanky? Here comes you from the backlines. I think Shingalafu will go down. Goes down for the first time. He'll be taking out more. Well, he is already dead. There is the Jawhead taking out. Galido in trouble as well. DD Pro Gaming, they are slowly winning this match. Still pretty much critical mass for them. There's the ultimate from D, and now they're taking the turrets for themselves.
Oh man, the macro plays resulting to huge dividends here for DD Pro Gaming, getting the towers. Again, despite not having the most effective composition, like we mentioned earlier, they're still eking out small victories against White Rascals because of the mispositions of White Rascals. You know, each individual members getting picked off around the map results in just huge plays here for DD Pro Gaming. They will have control over a majority of the map because of this.
I mean, that only took them 1 kill onto the Jawhead, the most important target for them to pick off, because again, White Rascals, they just can't start the fight without this Jawhead. And of course, by eliminating the Jawhead, you have all the license to take out the turret, and you know, they were able to take out the turret with that. Oh, Tents will actually be tossed in.
Oh!
It's pretty bad, but in comes the jump from the rest of DD Pro Gaming. They will take out the Lolita. Wonder why D did that.
Yeah, and that was a minor misplay this time.
Yeah.
Misposition on the side of DD Pro Gaming. Can White Rascals capitalize though? That is a big question, as their composition seems to be moving a bit slower than I anticipated it could. But Yaku gets caught off by Inuzaki on the side, forces the ultimate pop-off. Will there be enough follow-up to take him out?
He is quite fast and quite tanky at this rate. There's the toss back again onto Few. Is there any damage here? Inuzaki is in here with the Argus. He tried to lock down D, but he already using the ultimate to push them back. Unfortunately, that Panda is not quite fast and he will be chased down. He jumps in forward, but in comes Kaizoku. And that's it. There's the Joy to take him out. The toss onto Few. Few tried to fight, but the flicker out from Kaizoku will be there to keep himself safe. And they will punish the Cyclops for his transgressions right now. All the while that's happening, it is going to be the Kagura taken out for the first time by Yaku.
Oh,
but,
there you go.
Oh, finally will be taken out, but there's the shutdown by the Fanny. And up to the top, there's still pretty much a lot of action in here. With Lovesy trying to deal with Shikalafu. Shikalafu trying to initiate, trying to take another play for his team. Will toss away this Lolita. Lolita with the ultimate. It will hit onto the Jawhead. The Jawhead very low. Be taken out by the Harley.
Yeah.
And can they get more?
That was a double box in attempt by the Jawhead. Did not work out in the end, but this is still going to be Inuzaki with Gelido very close on the side. Will he bait him into Gelido's waiting arms? Apparently not. Luffy and Tet still reading them like a book. Deadly Magic is already off cooldown because of how long that fight was, but will not do much damage as they lock in Tets with the Grok
nice
wall.
With the Grok, and they will be able to take out the wall, but their core, it is in trouble right now.
The core!
This is just way too much damage, and they can't afford this. They put it up to 20% health.
Oh, that is
scary.
Man, that got my heart racing. If no one was there to answer, that would have been game win.
That would have been game.
That would have been a win game for DD Pro Gaming.
Oh my goodness. Now they chase onto D this time. They do have the lockdown. Deck Griff coming out from Inuzaki, but from the backlines, it's the Harley to zone them out. Cyclops and Harley trying to dish out the damage. They do have sustainable amount of damage. And there is the Grok wall once again. Kind of separate the members from DD Pro Gaming away from each other. And here's the jump in from Yaku. Zaki quite in trouble. Akai with the ultimate. Very nicely done with the pushbacks on Inuzaki. But look at this. Few is actually scared of Inuzaki, but with some footwork, they were able to take out the Argus. And now the Grok is taken out. The Zilong will be traded, but there's a shutdown on the Hardy, courtesy of the Fanny. Gelido is very low though. Dies for the first time. And there is the damage from Cyclops being prepped up. Shikalafu will have to help his teammate, and he was able to do so. Few is very low, but now Shikalafu has to back now. Fanny wants to dip back to the fray. He wants to go for the perfect timing. Is it perfect though? It's not much, but it is something. It's pretty close.
That was weird. I mean, Gelido didn't have enough damage to burst down that Cyclops with 10% HP. That was uncharacteristic for a Fanny user. I was ready to shout my head
Yeah,
off.
I was.
Just goes to show like how much of a lead DD Pro Gaming has already in terms of being tanky. It already paid off dividends. The fights that they've been taking, the macro advantages that they had, it's starting to show on the side of Pro Gaming.
Yeah, you can feel it too. It seems like White Rascals are not connecting so much as far as team fights go. So now 22 minutes in, there's still a big fall off as far as damage goes for the Hardy as well as the Cyclops. But the way they play it, it's really commendable, because what they do is just focus fire on one.
Yes,
make sure that
it's not an absolute like clown fiesta. Like I'm gonna take this target, you guys take this target. No, that is not happening at all. Like they usually have just one target. It's just that a lot of the fights are being prolonged by Shinkalafu on this Jawhead, like a big factor of that, as well as Inuzaki having a second life on the Argus. You have to also take into consideration that DD Pro Gaming, their damages come in waves, with the Deadly Magic and with the Star Power Lockdown. So those are the timings that... Oh my god, they did catch Few though!
They did catch Few. That is a big takedown. That is the Cyclops down for the God as they're chasing Yaku. This time the Grok wall will not be enough. But actually it will help them to not be aggressed by the members of DD Pro Gaming. What a pick-up there by White Rascals. Can they get more? They're looking for more though.
Yeah, that is the big question here. Like how fast can White Rascals take this Lord and take an advantage, an opening where the Cyclops is down and they can fight 4v5? And I think they will try to go for an opportunity right now.
Oh no, Ted's quite in trouble. Flickers out, perhaps of the ultimate. Inuzaki will be there, but he will be stunned up. Can he be controlled? I think that was enough. No, the lifesteal will be there, and they have to get away from the danger zone of this particular Argus. And they will knock off this Teds, and they really have punished the members of DD Pro Gaming. Fortunately for Teds, does have another dash away. The flicker as well. The knock up onto the middle. Inuzaki just, baiting in the members of DD Pro Gaming with a sliver of health, and then gets back up. But the ultimate from the Akai, it's just way too much. Inuzaki will have to run away. Shikalafu will be there in the middle. Yaku gets out. Top lane will be pressured though while this is happening. It's still pretty good for DD Pro Gaming despite them losing their members. And D will be here. Inuzaki wants to get back to the fray. The Lord, it will be slain by the Fanny. Now Tets. This is gonna be the ultimate activated, pushing away 4 members, locking down the 1. That's Galindo down for the count. They will call the Lord to push out the top lane, while Tets will be much in trouble. He still survives. He will be chased down by this Inuzaki Argus. Can he get the kill? Oh, this is way too long.
Oh man, that was beautiful by the Argus there. Counterplay. This is gonna be DD Pro Gaming also gonna forced to be on the run. I mean, Yaku, he tried his best on that Lord to get into the fight, but it was still locked down. And again, this is gonna be White Rascals.
Oh, nice.
Getting out right off the bat.
Yeah, they got out in the nick of time. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That was pretty close. That's probably why the members of White Rascals are smiling a little bit.
Yeah, they are. I thought I wasn't the only one who knows that. Man. They're looking very confident right now on screen as well, but will they translate that into something? As Gelido gets locked down!
That is way too confident. Fortunately, he does have the second life. Can he get out? No, he can't. That is the Zilong with, of course, the lockout, and that was way too aggressive. They still made, pushed down mid lane though.
Yeah, will that be a worthy sacrifice? That is the question. As they tried, they did get a tower in the mid lane for their efforts, but again, what is going to be the answer?
Oh,
Ejector on the Zilong. Yaku still half health, still has that ultimate though.
Yeah, wait, unfortunately, the Lord was busy taking out one minion right there. It would have been a great play tossing one opponent up to the Lord to take, to deal a lot of damage, but unfortunately, the Lord was busy for a little bit.
That's right. That would have been a different story altogether if the Lord had just went through. Again, these small things, small nuances in this game are slowly adding up into bigger and bigger things as White Rascals now keeping DD Pro Gaming on the ropes despite being behind on goal.
Where they can find though the opening? So I think for White Rascals, the big handicap for them was the mid lane.
Yeah, I think
it was always pushing out. That's why White Rascals can't overly commit on a push on up top, for example, or any split push for the matter, and even team fights. They are going for one pickoffs or two pickoffs, but not on full committals because again, they have to deal with this mid lane.
Yeah, it's not always happening as well for White Rascals, but look at that. DD Pro Gaming trying to push something in the mid lane. Shinkarafu does use the unstoppable force to try to block in that Harley, but not going to be there for long as they fight melee on the front lines.
That is does he have the ultimate still? They will be knocked up, and he's still pretty much healthy this time. They will go jump onto the Kagura this time. Yasu onto the middle. Nice fight there by DD Pro Gaming. Identifying the proper targets. The Kagura down. D will try to back away. And the job is done for this Akai already. And taking out the very important target on the backlines.
Looking like a worse and worse fight here for White Rascals as they are getting chased by DD Pro Gaming. All their ultimates are currently out. Yasu forces the wild charge up and the wall goes in the mid lane, but no, it will not be a factor.
It will not be a factor as they jumping through the wall. Over the wall, And this is really scary. The core is exposed. There's the ultimate from the Lolita hitting onto one. And Yaku doesn't care. He wants the core. He wants to go for the objective side. I think he will close this game out. White Rascals. They are going to lose this match. And DD Pro Gaming, they're going to cheer about it. They're happy for it.
So this is DD Pro Gaming for the second time today. Finals berth denied.
Oh my goodness. The previous match, it went close in the second game. Also, another deny, like you mentioned. And the second match, another deny with another sort of a base race kind of thing. Is this going to happen in the next three best of twos we have?
That's going to be a big question later, isn't it?
It is.
It's looking like a trend. It's almost looking like a free win, a free trip for either one of the lower bracket teams. But man, the teams from the top of the list just pushing them further and further back down, forcing them into tiebreakers today.
Well, we don't know. We don't have the final say just yet whether or not. On how we are gonna deal with the tiebreakers. Maybe we can announce that later when we come back after the break. That will be.